Evening, welcome to the Derby debrief from RamsTV. Owen Bradley with former Derby County captain Shaun alongside here to bring you reaction to Derby's victory in Exeter tonight. The Rams have won by 2-1, courtesy of a second half brace from David McGoldrick, taking him past the 20-goal milestone in the league. What a terrific campaign he's had. More importantly, it keeps Derby right in the hunt for a League One playoff place. We'll take you through the table and tonight's results in full in a little while. Reaction to come from the squad as well, but we'll start as always with a word from Shaun. To put it simply, Barks, I mean, they had to win tonight. They had to win tonight, they did. Yeah,
they've had too many maybe opportunities of late to win games and they let it slip. I thought the all-round performance, especially in the second half, showed kind of what they're capable of, what they can do in terms of resilience, defending the box, how threatening they can be in the attacking areas. And we deserve the 3 points, as simple as that. I thought they were a little bit timid at times in the first half and weren't willing to press with the intensity that the manager and the staff would want. They sat back and let Exeter have a little bit of a spell in the game, but the second half was completely different. Whatever was said at half-time worked because they were on the front foot, they were more aggressive, they were landing on second balls. I thought Mendes, Lang and Sibley all of a sudden got a little bit of joy, which they weren't getting in the first half. And what more can you say about Didsey? 2 wonderful goals. The man of the moment. He's been remarkable all season, and 2 glorious goals for a glorious campaign he's had.
I will say more about him in a moment or two, just to bring you the absolute latest and where Derby stand in the table. They are still outside the top 6, only on goal difference. Peterborough in 5th have 73 points. Bolton 6th, 72. Derby 7th, 72. Bolton do have the game in hand, which could be really important. That is next Tuesday night. But let's bring you some reaction from St James Park. We can hear from Derby's assistant boss, Richie Barker.
Richie, well done. That feel like a big 3 points for you?
Yeah, it does. Obviously, off the back of 2 away games in 4 days, 4 points. Obviously, a long journey back now, but extremely hard work from the players. Obviously, we went with fresh legs, and no, I thought the lads were excellent. Look, we were a little bit slow starting, but obviously talked about a few things at half time, and I thought we were by far the better team in the second half.
What was your sort of overall assessment of the performance then?
I thought we deserved to win the game. I thought it should have been more comfortable. Obviously, the goal's disappointing. I thought in the first half, without creating a great deal of chances, I know Joe pulled off a good save in the first half, but obviously we changed the shape a little bit. Tried to be a little bit more positive at the top of the pitch by having more numbers, and so the first half, wasn't great, but it was a good away 45 minutes, and I thought the second half we should have won the game comfortably.
Let's talk about David McGoldrick then. He's got 24 goals now this season. The first one, it reminded me in a sort of way the Morecambe free kick at Pride Park, where it was laid off and you'd back him from that distance, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, like, in fairness to him and Connor, they obviously worked that little free kick themselves, and like, if you want somebody on the end of that, then you want it to be David, don't you? So yeah, I thought he was excellent. I don't know what, is it 4 in 3 or something he's got now? So a fantastic run and a good effort from him. In fairness, he played 90 minutes in a away game the other day, and near on 90 minutes again today. So pleased for him that those goals keep racking up.
And the second one, great composure as well.
Yeah, well, an excellent finish. No one's saving that, and he's one of the few players probably in this division that has the composure and the ability to, in a crowded 18-yard box. I can't remember who it was that picked him out, but to put it in the bottom corner. So, and the second goal was always going to be important. They were going to throw things at us in the second half, so the second goal was always going to be important. Luckily, it fell to him.
And it was also important because you let them back in the game, which I imagine is the only sort of frustration from the night.
Yeah, that is probably the biggest frustration. Other than the first half, Joe's save from the header, I don't think there really was that many shots on target. There was a lot of huffing and puffing, which you'd expect away from home against a team who really, again, a bit like Bristol we talked about earlier, got nothing to play for. So, they can play free. So it was always, they were always going to get something out of the game, but it was just disappointing because we go another 5 or 10 minutes, and I think the game would just fizzled out.
but they did get back into it. But you hung in there and you saw it out, which is another test of sort of character and resilience, because you've been tested in different ways lately.
Yeah, well, I have to say, off the back of we've spoke a lot about the disappointment of the penalty at the weekend. And obviously we could have been stood here now with 6 points, but it was important that the players didn't go into the game feeling sorry for themselves. We all were obviously disappointed, but in fairness to their character, not only to pick themselves up and come here and win, but to hang in for the last 10 or 15 minutes shows how hard they are prepared to work together. The subs came on and played a part as well. So like I say, I think on Saturday morning, would we have taken 4 points from 2 away games? With 2 home games coming, I think we probably would.
Well, you answered my next question. I was going to say you would have taken 4 points. There were 2 tricky away games.
Yeah.
You've now got back-to-back home games against Burton and Portsmouth. It's a real opportunity just to continue this bit of momentum now. Because I know in some ways people may not feel like it's momentum, but you're 4 unbeaten now.
Yeah. Well, we set ourselves a bit of a target a couple of weeks ago and said roughly what we thought we needed to try and get in the playoffs, and all we can do is look after ourselves. I think one of the results went for us tonight, but we can't affect that. We can do what we need to do, and like you say, we've given ourselves a chance with back-to-back home games now, that probably within the next 10 days we'll have a fair idea of what our fate's going to be.
And just lastly, word on the fans, you've got 1,300 come at an unbelievably long distance on a Tuesday night, and they were brilliant all the way through. Yeah,
I mean, not just a long distance on a Tuesday night, the fact that they obviously, there were most of the people, I would imagine, because they're them type of people, would have been here on Saturday, at Bristol on Saturday. So massive, and it was important for us kicking towards our fans in the second half that they gave the lads energy, encouraged them to keep pressing. They've been excellent away from home. Obviously at home it's great, but away from home they've been excellent all season. And to think about coming here on a Tuesday night, whatever it is, 4 hours or something, is amazing. So hopefully they'll stay with us, and like I say, 2 big home games.
There is Richie Barker. More reaction to come from St James's Park shortly. He's clearly happy. And I suppose the point about you'd have taken 4 points from 2 away games is a relevant one. It's just the missed opportunities, I suppose, that sting all the more. But Derby held on tonight, and it's a massive result for them. It
is a massive result, and I think Richie's talked about it there, that the disappointment of conceding so late on, their heads could have been down. It's been a tough 2 or 3 weeks in terms of getting the results we want, maybe getting the full 90 minutes of performance. So to put a performance like that, and especially in the second half, he picked it up there. The first half I thought we were a bit passive at times and weren't willing to go and kind of commit men forward to go and press and make it difficult for Exeter. And the second half, completely different. Everyone was on the front foot. Everyone was going to try and win the challenge. Everyone was trying to be aggressive. The tempo lifted 10-20%, and naturally you end up dominating for long spells in that second half. And then the disappointing thing is it wasn't more comfortable, and I think if you kept it at 2-0 for another 5-10 minutes, maybe you get the third and you can possibly rest a few of those players for a little bit longer. But the performance was good, the second half was excellent, 2 wonderful goals, and I think everyone did their bit. I think everyone played well and played their part this evening. Let's
talk about David McGoldrick. Scored in bunches this season, plenty of hat-tricks, 2 more tonight. Has also got rid of this narrative about the fact that he never scored away from home, because he scored some big goals away from Pride Park as well now. Past the 20-goal milestone for the season is a tremendous achievement for him at 35. And we saw his quality again tonight. The first in what has been nicknamed affectionately by our team as the tap and bang routine with Conor Harahan, and his second magnificent as well. And as Richie Barker says, you sometimes feel as though he's the only player in this division that can do what he does.
Yeah, and he's got something special about how he plays, his confidence, his ability to bring others into play, and also to be selfish at times as well. So 35, his best season in front of goal. We forget that, I don't know how long it took him to get on the goal scoring trail early in the season. It took him a little while to get up to speed.
Injuries as well.
Injuries, pre-season missing. So that even shows how remarkable his season has been. But the importance of him is the moments of brilliance that you need him to get goals, you need him to do something special, and he keeps on turning up, he keeps on making those moments. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be with a shout this season. We wouldn't. His quality, his goals, his class at times stands above everyone else. And I like the fact that Mendes-Lang played off him and Sibley as well, because it just allowed him to drop into little spaces. The little 1-2 and give and go in around the box for the second goal was brilliant. Special player, special season.
He also has the best goals per minute ratio of any player in League One this season as well. David McGoldrick had that accolade before tonight's goals too. I wanted to ask you about a big moment in the first half, and Richie Barker maybe downplayed it a little bit there, but it's a wonderful save by Joe Wildsmith, and when you look back on it now, that is the sort of moment that the game, and dare I say it, the season could have turned on.
Yeah, I can't think of a better save this season for Wildsmith. He's been outstanding. He has. He's
50th appearance tonight.
Yeah, probably surprised a few. I think a few might have been unsure whether he was going to be first choice this season and whether he was going to have competition. He's made it his own, and some of the saves we've seen have been exceptional. But I think this tops it. It was a brilliant save at a really important time, because first 5 minutes I thought we were on the front foot. We obviously had 90s chance and looked bright, and then after that we dropped. Intensity dropped. Exeter was gaining momentum and belief, and that save just kept it at 0-0 and just allowed us to grow into the game. So it's a key moment, and you have to have them. You have to have players that will make those key moments count. It was him in the first half. It was Dizzy in the second.
Derby didn't make it easy for themselves. They conceded that late goal to make things interesting for the home side. On a wider point, and we know that Paul Warner's maybe been searching a little bit for a system and the personnel for a couple of weeks now. Do you think he's going to stick with what worked tonight for the end of the season?
I don't know. I don't know. The honest answer, we've seen him try the 3-5-2, which he obviously likes. I think for certain teams, you can get punished in that centre of the park, the centre midfield. At times where we weren't quite at, it's because we was overloaded in that midfield area. I think it might be an option for him, whether you start the game or whether you go, you know what, we can go to a 3-4-2-1, 3-4-3 and be creative and have players that can support David McGoldrick in advanced areas. And I like the look of it before the game because of runners. We've talked this season that we've got James Collins, we've got McGoldrick that will go short, that can be a handful, that can entertain centre-halves, but we've never really had one to run in behind. And Mendes-Lang and Sibley offered that, especially in the second half. So it's another food for thought for the manager. He would have been delighted with the second half, but it was all about the intensity. It was about the energy they brought into the second half. And when you have that much energy, you don't allow the opposition to settle. You have every chance of winning the game, and ultimately we had too much for them.
Yeah, Derby won the game. It's what they had to do. Let's get some more reaction for you. Max Bird back in the side tonight.
Buddy, that is a very important win tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, massive. Feels brilliant. You know, we needed it. Lads in the change room buzzing, staff buzzing. So look, we have to sort of, take what we did well tonight, look back at the game, analyse the game, and try and back it up on Saturday.
Having conceded the goal at 2-0 up after surrendering leads recently, how important was it to dig in the way you did?
Well, I think a big part of the game was we went 1-0 up and we sort of kept on it, whereas in previous games we maybe would have sat back or invited a bit of pressure. In this game, we went for the second goal and we were aggressive in our press second half. We were a bit timid first half, and then second half we come out and we started off really well, which we haven't been doing. So the second goal was massive, and then obviously we, put ourselves in a bit of bother with conceding a goal. But, I think the resilience, and we enjoyed defending the box in the last 10 minutes. I think I've tried to dig it into the players, and, we tried to get it together as a group that we've got to enjoy these parts of games. These are what where the wins come from, not the 2 goals, but holding out that lead at the end of the match.
When you go a goal up, as opposed to sitting back on it, does that come from within to go and chase a second, or is it being fed into you from the sidelines?
Bit of both. I think today was both. At times in previous games it's come from the sidelines too much, and today we sort of the lads together, we were all covering each other's backs when something happened, a man got beat or something like that. So listen, it's a win at the end of the day, and that's all that matters.
Change of shape, change of system. You seem to get through a lot of work in that midfield.
Yeah, it was tough. Change of system, sort of a bit of bit of trying to counteract what they were doing, but also something different for us. I thought we were comfortable, definitely second half in that formation. Obviously we haven't worked on it for too many days, but maybe we play that on Saturday and we work on it a bit more. But I thought we were a bit more intricate through the middle of the pitch, and we were a bit more creative. They caused us a bit of problems with their playing out from the back in the first half, but like I say, our press second half was aggressive, and that helped us start second half really well.
Be wrong not to touch on the 2 goals, 2 fantastic goals from David McGoldrick, who's on 21 for the season in the league, 24 in all competitions.
Yeah, he's brilliant. I've learnt lots off him, lads have learnt lots off him. Ed there has just said he's a bit of a cheat code for this league, and he pops up in moments in games where we need him, and it's important to have a player like that, especially in a promotion push. So he took his goals very well, and we have to, keep involving him in how we play and trying to get him more goals for him. But more importantly, if he's winning us football matches, then and the team are contributing towards that as well, then that's all that matters.
At this stage of the season, it's very important to have someone in that vein of form, isn't it? So that can really propel you into those playoff positions.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said tonight, it come from within. Obviously Dizzy scores 2 spectacular goals, but like I say, in previous games we sort of, maybe after 1 goal we would have sat off a bit, but we've gone after it. We've gone after the second goal, great goal as well. The goal we conceded wasn't ideal, but like I say, it come from within, and we dug deep as a team tonight.
We talk about the fans a lot, but on a Tuesday night all the way down in Exeter, that's some effort, and they were rewarded with 2 goals and 3 points tonight in front of them.
Yeah, that's some going from the fans. They were brilliant all night, very loud as always, and to see them at the end, lots of smiles and then buzzing about the victory, that's important for us.
Back home on Saturday and another key game against Burton Albion then?
Yeah, big game, a little bit of a rivalry. And they'll be coming to win the game, of course, and we need to back it up, because tonight's performance was good and we got the result that we wanted, but if we don't back it up then this almost means nothing. So we have to keep backing it up, take each game as it comes, and hopefully we'll get another 3 points Saturday.
There is Max Bird, and here are the results from League One tonight. There were plenty of twists and turns in the promotion race. In particular, Peterborough held on to win at Accrington by 2-1. Important result for Derby, of course. Sheffield Wednesday, they held on to beat Bristol Rovers. It might not be enough for the Owls, who've really struggled recently. Burton did Derby a favour, holding Bolton. Burton, of course, visit Pride Park at the weekend. Wickham won at Cambridge. Ipswich came from behind to beat Port Vale. Charlton with a win at MK Dons, which keeps them in trouble toward the bottom of the table. And Plymouth came from behind to beat Shrewsbury. The visitors got a 96th minute winner there. It keeps them top of League One, a point ahead of Ipswich, 2 clear of Sheffield Wednesday. Remember that the Owls have played a game more than the top 2. Who knows, they might not have anything left to play for when Derby visit Hillsborough on the final day of the season. The promotion race looks like this: Peterborough 5th, 73 points, Bolton in 6th, 72, Derby in 7th, 72 as well. Bolton have the all-important game in hand. Wickham not out of it just yet either. At the bottom, Exeter obviously don't move into the top half tonight, although they still could between now and the end of the season. Forest Green already relegated, not looking good for Accrington or Morecambe in particular, but Cambridge keep fighting. Oxford and MK Dons looking vulnerable. And that's all from us for now. If you want more reaction to tonight's game, it'll be on the website for you, dcfc.co.uk. We're back at Pride Park on Saturday. See you then. Goodbye.